In a single night of collapse, 80 million household pets in the US would be cut off from food, safety, and medical care, turning beloved companions into desperate survivors. This video uncovers what really happens to dogs, cats, and every kind of pet when the zombie apocalypse strikes. Some will adapt, some will become a danger, and one shocking role of service animals won't be revealed until the very end. Here's a tough question. If zombies took over tomorrow, would you share your last can of food with your pet, or keep it for yourself? Drop your answer in the comments because survival experts have a perspective that might surprise you later in this video. Imagine the sheer scale. In the United States alone, there are more pets than children. That means when society collapses, the crisis doesn't just hit humans. It ripples into millions of homes filled with animals suddenly cut off from kibble, water bowls, and regular vet visits. Overnight, the infrastructure keeping them alive disappears. It's not just about hunger. A medium-sized dog needs nearly 1,000 calories a day. Multiply that by days, then weeks, and suddenly, survival math gets brutal. For every family trying to save themselves, there's a pet depending on them too. History shows in disasters, abandonment rates skyrocket. Not because people stop caring, but because desperation forces impossible choices. The first lesson is harsh but clear. Prepping for yourself isn't enough if your pet is part of the equation. Plan for both, or you risk losing more than just food. Dogs seem like apocalypse gold. Loyal companions, keen senses, and fearless protectors. But loyalty has limits when survival instincts kick in. Large breeds burn through food fast, and a hungry dog becomes unpredictable. Barking can be both a blessing and a curse. It warns you of danger, but also draws attention straight to your hiding place. In World War II bombings, dogs saved families by sensing air raids minutes before sirens, yet countless accounts also reveal how barking betrayed their owners' positions to soldiers. That duality defines dogs in collapse. Protectors and liabilities rolled into one. Some will stay, starving beside their humans until the bitter end. Others may break away, forming dangerous packs that rival zombies for threat levels. If you want your dog to truly be an ally, you need to train for silence, ration for survival, and prepare for the day loyalty is tested against hunger. Cats occupy a strange space in apocalypse survival. Unlike dogs, they aren't bound by loyalty, they're bound by instinct. That makes them both more adaptable and more ruthless. Indoor cats, raised in a world of litter boxes and steady meals, often struggle the most. Within days, many would die if confined to apartments without humans. But once free outdoors, cats transform. They revert to what they've always been, skilled hunters. Studies already show that cats kill billions of birds and small mammals yearly in normal times. In collapse, that instinct becomes their lifeline. Yet survival doesn't mean safety for owners. Cats won't defend you from intruders, nor will they bark when zombies approach. They'll vanish into the shadows, feeding themselves first. The lesson here is sobering. Cats don't doom their humans, but they don't save them either. What happens to the millions of exotic pets when disaster strikes? Parrots, snakes, lizards, even turtles. Animals perfectly adapted to specific conditions suddenly trapped in human chaos. Unlike cats or dogs, most exotics rely entirely on human care. Heat lamps, fresh water, specialized food all vanish overnight. Without it, survival odds plummet. Parrots may break free, forming flocks in warmer climates, much like they've done in abandoned cities before. But reptiles? Many starve or freeze within weeks. During Hurricane Katrina, thousands of exotic pets were abandoned, and most didn't make it out alive. This is the cold truth of apocalyptic survival. Evolution didn't shape these animals for a world of zombies and collapsed infrastructure. If you own exotics, their fate and collapse isn't about loyalty or instinct. It's about whether you can carry their artificial environment on your back. In an apocalypse, pet food disappears fast. Shelves dazzle empty within hours, supply chains break, and suddenly the billion-dollar pet food industry vanishes. That leaves owners with one grim reality. Every scoop of kibble is finite. Dogs can survive on scraps, but only for so long before malnutrition sets in. Cats have it worse. Obligate carnivores can't thrive on pasta or rice, no matter how desperate you are. In past famines, families often shared human rations with pets, but survival statistics showed that only the smallest animals lasted more than weeks. The brutal math is unavoidable. Feeding your pet means reducing your own calories. Unless you've prepped with long-term food stores specifically for animals, hunger will become the most pressing threat. And hunger makes even gentle pets unpredictable. The best takeaway? Stockpile double. One cache for you, one for them. Food gets all the attention in survival talk, but water is the real killer. A dog can die in less than 3 days without it. Cats last longer, but dehydration still ravages their kidneys fast. In disasters like Hurricane Maria, thousands of pets perished not from starvation but from lack of clean water. In a zombie apocalypse, rivers and lakes aren't safe. Rotting corpses and unchecked contamination turn them into disease traps. Even rainwater can harbor deadly bacteria. Owners who think pets can just drink what they find risk losing them to parasites or poisoning. Preppers often forget, every gallon you filter for yourself should be matched by one for your animals. Portable filters, stored jugs, even makeshift solar stills become life-saving not just for you, but for them. Ignore this, and you won't have a companion for long. When the first wave of chaos clears, a terrifying shift happens. Abandoned dogs band together. History already gave us a preview. In post-Soviet Moscow, packs of stray dogs adapted to subway systems, hunting as coordinated units. In the apocalypse, it only takes weeks for pets to shed their domestic veneer. Hungry, feral, and organized, these packs become apex predators in ruined cities. Unlike zombies, they can strategize, stalk silently, and retreat when threatened. Survivors often expect loyalty, but a starving Labrador or German Shepherd in a pack doesn't remember the leash, it remembers survival. And that means competition for scarce resources, not companionship. The chilling reality? The dog that once curled at your feet could one day block your path in numbers too large to fight off. Service dogs embody loyalty under pressure, guiding the blind, calming PTSD, even detecting seizures. But in a zombie apocalypse, their roles collide with brutal scarcity. A guide dog still navigates hazards flawlessly, yet what happens when food runs out? Owners often sacrifice their own rations to keep them alive, forging a bond stronger than survival logic. During 9/11, service dogs famously led their owners down smoke-filled stairwells, refusing to abandon them. That loyalty could save lives again, warning of threats or calming panic and collapse. But here's the twist. That same loyalty could doom them both. A service dog won't run when danger approaches. It stays, even if it means being overwhelmed. The truth is heartbreaking. Their heroism becomes a liability without careful planning. In survival, even courage has limits. In the chaos of collapse, pets become more than companions. They become anchors. Studies on disaster survivors reveal that those who keep pets often report lower anxiety and stronger willpower to live. During the siege of Sarajevo, families risked sniper fire just to keep feeding their dogs and cats, because in a world gone mad, that daily act preserved a sense of humanity. Pets don't just eat food, they eat fear. Stroking fur, hearing a purr, or feeling a loyal head rest on your knee can steady nerves when everything else falls apart. But that emotional lifeline comes with weight. Protecting your pet adds risk, adds responsibility, and sometimes delays escape. Still, many survivors argue the trade is worth it, because without hope, survival loses meaning. This is where survival becomes brutal, when there's only enough for one. Starvation doesn't come all at once. It comes with skipped meals, dizzy spells, and hard bargains. Every calorie you give to your pet is one you lose, and after weeks, that math turns lethal. Parents in past famines recorded choosing between feeding a child or an animal that comforted the child. Sometimes the pet lived. Sometimes it didn't. In the apocalypse, these moments won't be rare. They'll be daily. The gut-wrenching choice defines survival itself. Do you protect the bond at all costs, or do you put human life first? There's no universal answer, but there is one certainty. Facing this question will break even the strongest survivors. Before we dive into the darker second half, where pets can turn from companions into threats, make sure you subscribe. That way you won't miss the next chapter of survival stories that could change how you prepare. A dog's bark can be a lifesaver, or a death sentence. In peacetime, barking is a nuisance. In collapse, it's an alarm clock that can't be silenced. Survivors have reported that dogs warned them of prowlers minutes before danger struck, saving lives in darkened shelters. But there's a flip side. The same bark that alerts you also broadcasts your exact position. In a world where stealth is survival, even loyalty can betray. Cats, on the other hand, offer quiet presence but no warning, creating a different kind of risk. Training your dog for silence may sound impossible, yet military canine units prove it can be done with discipline and conditioning. Without it, your companion could cost you more than comfort. Pop culture loves the idea of zombie pets, infected dogs, undead cats, entire packs roaming wastelands. Science dismisses that as fantasy, but here's where it gets unsettling. Diseases already exist that mimic zombie-like behaviors. Rabies, for example, turns once docile animals into biting machines, spreading death with a single scratch. In bats, fungal infections cause erratic, suicidal movement patterns eerily close to horror fiction. Could a mutated pathogen in collapse create zombie pets? Experts say it's improbable, but not impossible. After all, pandemics in animals often precede human outbreaks. The unsettling reality isn't Walking Dead Labradors. It's packs of diseased strays spreading infections faster than zombies themselves. That's where survival shifts. Protecting against your pet's bite becomes just as vital as protecting them from zombies. When structure breaks down, disease surges. Pets, once vaccinated and treated, become carriers. Rabies reemerges quickly. Just one infected bite can end a survivor's story in days. Fleas and ticks, long controlled by medicine, explode unchecked, spreading Lyme disease and worse. Even cats can carry toxoplasmosis, a parasite linked to severe illness when immune systems are weakened. In war-torn regions, veterinary collapse always led to spikes in zoonotic disease, illnesses that jump from animal to human. In a zombie apocalypse, those patterns intensify. Your once beloved companion could carry silent killers right into your shelter. That doesn't mean abandoning them, it means understanding the risks. Clean water, makeshift flea control, and vigilance aren't luxuries. They're survival tactics. Ignore this, and the enemy isn't zombies. It's microscopic. Cities don't stay the same after collapse. They evolve. And pets left behind play a massive role. In New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina, packs of abandoned dogs reshaped entire neighborhoods, turning some areas dangerous long after waters receded. In Fukushima's exclusion zone, cats multiplied unchecked, dominating blocks humans once owned. Now, I'll scale that up to global apocalypse. Birds escape cages, parrots form noisy colonies in ruined suburbs, and feral dogs prowl highways in numbers. Survivors don't just battle zombies, they battle ecosystems shifting under their feet. Over months, pets aren't just side stories, they become environmental forces. The hard truth? Animals adapt faster than humans when rules vanish, and that reshaped cityscape can either help you hide or make you prey. History leaves clues about what happens when order collapses. In World War II, when London was bombed, panicked owners euthanized over 400,000 pets in just 1 week, believing it was kinder than starvation. During the siege of Leningrad, starving families often ate anything they could catch, and tragically, pets were not spared. Yet there are also stories of animals pulling survivors through, the dogs that carried supplies across frozen rivers, the cats that controlled rat infestations in besieged cities. These extremes show us the spectrum. Pets either become expendable casualties or indispensable allies. The lesson is stark. Survival isn't new, and the past already wrote the script. Look back and you'll see tomorrow. We all imagine our dogs staying loyal to the very end, refusing to abandon us even in hunger. But instinct is older than companionship. In countless famines, once-loving dogs turned scavenger, leaving homes to hunt on their own. Some even returned in packs, no longer recognizing the hand that once fed them. Loyalty is powerful, but biology is stronger. When stomachs growl loud enough, survival rewrites bonds. That doesn't mean dogs are villains. It means survival doesn't play by fairy tale rules. If you expect blind loyalty without preparation, you set yourself up for heartbreak. The truth is hard, but necessary. Dogs aren't unbreakable symbols. They're survivors first. When groups of survivors form, rules emerge fast. Food, weapons, and water get rationed, but pets complicate everything. Imagine arriving at a fortified community with your dog. Do they allow it inside, knowing it consumes scarce resources and could attract noise? Many real-life disaster shelters already forbid animals, except service pets, because of sanitation and safety risks. In an apocalypse, those decisions get harsher. Some groups may force you to abandon your animal. Others might accept only working pets, guard dogs, rat hunters, or livestock. Emotional value won't always be enough. Communities prioritize survival math, not sentiment. And that means owners must decide, do you stay with your pet outside or give them up to join the group? It's not just survival, it's politics. Without spaying, neutering, and control systems, pet populations explode in months. After Hurricane Katrina, shelters struggled with waves of puppies and kittens born in ruins. In collapse, every abandoned pair becomes the start of a feral colony. Overpopulation brings two dangers: more mouths competing for scarce resources and more disease spreading unchecked. A surge in strays quickly overwhelms survivors already fighting hunger. Without veterinary care, births become brutal, with high mortality for both mothers and offspring. And those that do survive? They swell into packs, colonies, and scavenger hordes competing with humans. It's not just about feeding one pet anymore, it's about surviving against an entire uncontrolled ecosystem of once domesticated animals. Not every animal becomes a liability in collapse. Some return to the roles they filled for centuries before modern convenience. Horses and donkeys, once sidelined by cars and tractors, suddenly regain value as transport and labor. A single horse can cover miles daily, haul supplies, and even plow small fields without gasoline. During World War I, millions of horses carried soldiers and equipment, proving their worth in the harshest conditions. In a zombie apocalypse, survivors who can keep work animals alive gain an unmatched advantage. But with advantage comes burden. Feeding, sheltering, and protecting a 1,000-pound animal is no small feat. If you can manage it, though, they transform from mouths to feed into engines of survival. Every apocalypse tale carries heartbreak, and pets sit at the center of many. In natural disasters, countless families risk their own lives to save animals, canoeing through flooded streets, breaking curfews, even refusing evacuation orders. That won't change when zombies roam. Some survivors will sacrifice everything rather than abandon their companions. Others will carry guilt forever, haunted by the sound of a dog left barking behind a locked door. These aren't statistics, they're the quiet tragedies of collapse. The choice between survival and love doesn't always follow logic. Sometimes love wins, even if it costs everything. And those choices, repeated across millions of homes, shape the human story of the apocalypse as much as zombies do. Survival isn't just theory, it's preparation. And if your pet is family, their kit matters as much as yours. At minimum, you'll need a week's supply of food and water, collapsible bowls, a sturdy leash or carrier, and basic first aid. Add flea and tick prevention, because parasites thrive in chaos. For cats, a portable litter solution is a lifesaver. For dogs, paw protection against broken glass and rubble. Even comfort items, a blanket or toy, help maintain calm when everything else unravels. The best preppers don't just stockpile for themselves, they double it for their animals. Because when the shelves are bare, improvisation won't save a life, planning will. When the undead rise, pets occupy a paradox. They drain supplies, risk exposure, and sometimes turn feral. Yet they also protect, heal, and give survivors a reason to keep fighting. Some will argue pets doom us, extra mouths in a world already short on food. Others say they save us, reminders of humanity in a world where humanity is dying. The truth is both. Pets become risk and reward, burden and blessing. In the end, the real question isn't whether pets survive the apocalypse. It's whether we can still call ourselves human if we leave them behind. So what really happens to pets when the zombie apocalypse hits? Some survive by instinct, slipping back into the wild. Others remain loyal until hunger or disease breaks the bond. A few, like work animals, rise again as essential allies. And all across the ruins, pets reshape the world just as much as the undead do. For survivors, the lesson is clear. Preparation decides whether they're a burden or a lifeline. Because in the end, survival isn't just about food or weapons, it's about what makes life worth living. If you found this breakdown eye-opening, stick around for our next story, how children, the most vulnerable survivors, struggle and adapt in the apocalypse. You won't want to miss it.